I hope you're doing okay. It was another long day at work today, but ended up getting it all done today, and now we just get to move into tonight. Tonight our plan is to go out and find some grasshoppers. I'd like to play golf today, but I just don't think I'll have time. But we want to find some grasshoppers and some crickets, some big ones for our lizard to eat. Probably we'll have to eat them tomorrow. When you feed the lizard, it can't be done, it's supposed to not be done like 2 hours of them first, their lights on, and then 2 hours until their lights are off. And their lights go off at 7, so it's almost 5 now. So anyway, we want to make sure that when she gets fed, the heat lamp helps her digest it, and so maybe we'll catch these and hopefully they'll live a whole day until tomorrow. So my kids, hopefully they'll join me, but otherwise I'm just going to go out and try to catch some grasshoppers on the golf course near the water, and I think that's going to be fun. Kind of want to bring the video camera around and maybe I'll video some of it for tomorrow's video. But for today, we're going to go over the last 2 weeks of expenses again. And this is us trying to figure out where our money's going. And as I've been doing these every day for all the past 2 weeks, it seems like they're always going to about the same places. So it's really nice to know that there's no wild cards, nothing out of the ordinary here. We're going to start this on 5/20. And it's going to end on 6/5. So that is 15 days, about 14, 15 days. Perfect 2 weeks almost. And we'll start with Verizon. I like to pay my Verizon bill, and I use it as I write it off as a work expense, about 80% of the bill, because most of our phone use for my wife and I is for the duplex or for real estate or something like that. So I just pay them like $500 done, for, I think our bill is like $110 or so a month. So it lasts us like, 4 or 5 months. And I just do that every time it kind of gets below $500 or right above $500 actually. So that's always just kind of taken care of. I always figure if I have a phone and I can go out and try to make some money and the phone's working well, that's why I picked Verizon. It's most expensive, but it's also the one that seems to work. I can always go out and try to make some money, whether it's, delivering pizzas or whatever, but if my phone is working and my car is working, I can go out there and provide. So I want to make sure that those two things are always taken care of. So that's why I prepay that so much, just because if things get tough, at least I've got a phone for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months, and I can go out there and use that phone to make more money. We paid the house cleaner $180. We do that once a week. We pay about that, anywhere between $60 and $240. Depending on how many turnovers there are, which is nice. So the more money we make, the more money she makes, and anyway, it works out really well. We paid to have our grass cut as family expense for $80. Those first 2 were work expenses. And then we paid $85.12 for the internet here at this house that we're renting. Mostly of our internet is used for work expense for the Airbnb, for these videos and for work, and so we write that off. $72.07 in groceries, and we have one over here. You won't be able to see it. It's all the way in where all the names of things are. I don't put the names there all the time. I don't show you the names, but it's $112.98 at H-E-B, and then we have one for $72.07. We went into the store, and we also had a pickup on that day, and we got some grocery items. $212 for Google storage. That is for work. My wife has her own personal storage with Apple for $299. My wife paid out of her own money $107.17 for a Beachbody subscription. And then we paid $36.40 for life insurance for my wife. We pay that quarterly. We pay mine yearly. It's like $506. Mine's more expensive because I'm a guy. Apparently guys don't live as long. We paid for our duplex to get cleaned again for the next week. That was $220 that week. And that's a work expense. We paid grocery expense, $171.01 at Walmart and H-E-B. We have a family expense of $10.81. That is for Apple, and I think that's just for Apple Music. Apple Music is just something that we just plug in the car. We can play, we can sing. It's it's a great way to just have unlimited music without having to buy new CDs all the time. We paid the mowers at the duplex $277.85. That's a work expense. We have more storage with Apple. That's 99 cents. We gave donation money of $250. There was a big problem in Myanmar where there was a coup, I believe, and there was people who were trying to get food to the people who needed it through church, and so we gave $250 to that. And that was donation money. Greta paid $3 at Hobby Lobby. Theo paid $1, and we got a gift for somebody at Hobby Lobby for $20. That was all cash that we used that day. $36.01 in gas at Stripes, and work expense was $133.14 at Office Max. Might have been Office Depot, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it was Office Depot. I shouldn't have said Office Max. So a lot of the things that we have to get, like printer, paper, ink and stuff like that, we write a lot of that off as business expense because we're using it to print off contracts and things like that we need, welcome books for the Airbnb, stuff like that. We have a kids expense at Costco of $159.09. That was probably 2 packs of pull-ups, 2 packs, or maybe a pack of pull-ups, pack of wipes, pack of diapers, and we got that shipped to the house. I just found out that that is the same price as it is in store, so, and no shipping fee, which is great. We just bought more of those today. We gave $4 in cash in donation money to Antioch, which is where we go to church. Family expense was $19.45 at Domino's. I guess we got some pizza and we tipped $2 cash. I go to pick up the pizza. There's a pickup window. I just learned that you're supposed to tip like a full 20% on pickup orders. Maybe, I think it's new from the pandemic. So I have not been doing that. I've been tipping, sometimes not tipping at all, sometimes a little bit, and sometimes the Holy Spirit will tell me to tip a lot. But mostly it's only like, $2, just like, hey, thanks for handing me the food. But we only go out like once a week or once every 2 weeks, usually once a week. So I really have to reconsider tipping 20%. And our bill is usually about $40, $20 to $40, but usually around 40 with 6 of us eating anytime we get takeout. So that would be $8. So that's totally doable. I would usually just tip $2 or $3 because it's takeout. But I learned that you're supposed to. Anyway, I just read an article. I don't know if you're really supposed to or not, but that's what somebody's opinion was, and I like it. So, especially since there's not really dine-in people anymore. So the tip was $2 cash, and of course that comes out of donation money anyway, and we have some extra of that, so might as well give it to the restaurant workers. $53.46 kids expense at Amazon, $416.42 family expense at Amazon, and my wife got $81.77 expense at Amazon. We paid the house cleaner at the duplex $60, and then I went to Rudy's and spent $11 of cash, and we tipped $3 there for a men's church night thing. Panera Bread, I spent $12, and I tipped $8, and that was all cash as well. I don't know why I went to Panera Bread, but I'm sure I had a good time there. Oh, that was another men's thing. Yeah, I was meeting for a while on Tuesdays once a month with some guys, and then in the morning, and then or in the once a month in the evenings with some guys, and then every week in the morning we would go to Panera Bread, and most of the time I just wouldn't buy anything. Because I'm kind of frugal like that. And plus eating a bunch of bread right in the morning makes me sleepy, and I had a long day ahead of me every Tuesday. Okay, moving on to 6.1. This is the next page. Parking in Dallas, a family expense, $10. I think that was for work. It probably got reimbursed. Probably put that right back into the family expense. Disney Plus, 1 cent. Once a month they only charge us 1 penny for some reason with the package that we got. Patreon, it was $1. It's a work expense. It's some people we support for their podcasts. Wheelhouse was $19.99. That's a once a month expense to have them. Wheelhouse is a software company, software as a service company, and they do the Airbnb management of what we should be charging. So usually it'll be like some random weekend, and we would think, oh, $150 is great for the night, and they're like, they have it at $200, and we're like, well, why? And then we find out later there's some art exhibit or there's a Baylor football game or something. So it usually pays for itself every single month and then some to have someone else manage what we should be charging every night. And it's totally random too. Sometimes it's like $112, and we're like, well, $112, but anyway, it works out. People pay it. Okay, and then moving on, family expense, Costco, $31.38. Amazon, work expense, $61.25. We have to get stuff from Amazon for the duplex sometimes, and sometimes for real estate business. But mostly Amazon stuff's for us. We got a donation of $16.80 at the post office. We were sending out some stuff to somebody. YouTube, I pay $13.01 every month as a family expense. Our whole family loves YouTube. It's on almost every TV, 3 TVs constantly, sometimes 4 TV. Well, and computers. Anyway, it's on all the time. Dollar General, we paid $19.21. I got a bunch of puzzles. I got like 5 puzzles. I just found them the other day too for Samaritan Ministry gifts, and we only paid $19.21 for like 5 or 6 puzzles because they're all so cheap. We got $543.89. That was our Samaritan charge that month. Dollar General, we paid $5.34 in donation money, and Starbucks was $7 of my own personal money, and I paid cash for that. I believe I went there with another guy's group of church goers. $55.28 was for Spectrum, for internet, for the duplex, for work expense, and $161 is a utility expense for Reliant, where we have our energy for the home that we're renting. We paid $1,900 in rent for the place that we're living at now. We paid $56.39 for the newspaper to come to the house. I believe that's every 2 or 3 months, and we call that a work expense because I use the newspaper for work, for real estate purposes. Kids expense, $20. We bought some pizza. I think we gave it to a neighbor. And then $2 Greta at Ollie's, which is like a cheap secondhand store, and Theo $2, and kids $1 in cash. They just bought some cheap things that they were enjoying, little toys. So we spent $41.10 at PetSmart. Again, we just had to go to PetSmart for the lizard and the dog. We get things from time to time. And Farmers Insurance for renters insurance was $18.67. My wife spent $109.10 at Amazon. It was a personal expense for her, and $648 family expense to get Hulu every month, which we're always thinking about canceling, but we haven't yet. Anyway, $200.93 as a grocery bill for that week, and that was at HEB and Walmart. We do 2 pickups a week sometimes. Now we're doing like 1 a month at Costco, and then a couple small ones throughout the month. We paid $6,222.70 in a 2-week period. So again, if you times that by 2, you know, it's $12,500, and if you times that by 12, then you're looking at $145,000 or so a year being spent. So it is everything we're making, and then on the Airbnb and on the renter and on this house. So it's all going out. But the plan is, you know, hopefully with enough time, we can get maybe another couple more investment properties, and then the goal would be that we won't need to worry about spending, you know, that money, because it's kind of like a forced savings plan on those. As long as the real estate market keeps doing well, and we keep getting money in, we could eventually either pay those off and not have that huge mortgage payment every month, which is $2,500. Well, we still have, you know, like $1,200 for paying taxes and insurance on that place a month. But anyway, it would lower things a lot, and or we could, you know, needed to take out another loan or refinance to get Greta or one of the kids in college. So the idea is, even though we don't have any money going into retirement right now, the idea is to get more of these real estate deals going, to continue to stay out of debt, to maybe get a few lucky breaks in real estate along the way, and to try to stay healthy so that we're not getting huge medical bills. So it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of asking God for help. It's a lot of just trusting in the day-to-day. Yeah, I mean, you saw how much is going out. So hopefully we know what we're doing, and we're going to be okay. I know we're going to be okay, but yeah, so every day's been okay so far, and that's all we're really fighting for, is each day. So hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day today, and we'll see you in the next video.